This video is sponsored by Squarespace. Today we're going to be testing out the GFX 100 S2 versus the GFX 100 II. A lot of people have a lot of questions about these cameras up against each other, so I figured it'd be cool to use them together in a portrait shoot. Now we're going to be using the exact same gear on both of them. I have the 55 f1.7, which is hands down my favorite lens for the GFX system while we take these portraits. I'll be shooting in JPEG and RAW, just to see how the RAWs look on each camera, as well as the JPEGs. But most of the photos that I'm going to be showing in this video will be the JPEGs. We'll check out the RAWs later. Now, as a disclaimer, I'm super biased towards the GFX 100 II. I love that camera and I use it for a whole bunch, especially for filming since it shoots in 8K, which I can punch in on for a lot of my product videos. So here's a quick look at the settings I'll be using on both cameras. We're going to have them set exactly the same. And let's go ahead and get into this portrait session. So as a disclaimer, I had a very hard time matching the two cameras together, mainly because I kept bumping the ISO on the GFX 100 S2. So you'll see it's going to be exposed a little bit higher than the 100 II, but most of the settings are pretty much exactly the same. Come put your back on this hole there. Yep. Perfect. Same thing, but we're gonna go straight on. So if you could for me move to your right just a tad, I'm gonna center you up. This one's gonna be pretty much more of a headshot. Yeah. And scoot over just a tad. I'm trying to get you centered up right there. Perfect. The colors are like totally different. It's crazy. Awesome. Let's keep moving. 2 steps back into there. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, the hardest thing about this is I'm trying to keep my settings the same on both cameras because they're technically pretty much the same camera. The white balance is so different. Bring your face like into this. Yeah, and use it to frame so you can actually like, yeah. Yeah, that's perfect. Bring your hand down just a tad if you can. There it is. That's perfect. Keep holding it. I'm gonna just switch the angle. Yeah. Yeah, let's keep going. I kind of want to, can you do a pose kind of like this maybe? I don't know what to do with your hands, but I think I can take it. This car is kind of exactly where I need to be. Oh yeah, I like that. Yeah, hold that for me. Take it and face it towards me. And I'm gonna see if we can get maybe like a, almost like a cute kind of like, yes. I'm gonna do a close-up one as well. Perfect, thank you. You're great at holding the, I know that's not the easiest to hold it for that long. Before we keep shooting, let's not forget to talk about this video's sponsor, Squarespace. Squarespace is an online platform to help you build your website and online presence. But the coolest thing is the recent updates they've had. Squarespace's recent update is very business focused, so there's no better time than now to sign up for Squarespace. You can use one of their beautiful templates and build your website quickly and easily and have so many business features to help you build your business. There's Squarespace Payments, so you can collect your payments directly on Squarespace, as well as have a bunch of different payment options. There's video paywalls, so you're able to make courses or videos and have those be paid for by your viewers. And you also have commerce for selling physical and digital products. I myself have been on Squarespace for over 10 years now, and it has grown with me and my business, which is why I recommend it to all business owners. So make sure to check out the link in the description below for 10% off of your first website or domain, and make sure to set your photography business up for success. Let's go ahead and get back into this comparison of the GFX 100-2 and the 100S2. Okay, let's see. Yeah, let's actually start with that. Just try and center. Oh, no. You're fine. Yeah. No, I like that. Well, cause yeah, I like the light, and I figured you were gonna do something like that. I kind of liked it when your other leg was down. Yeah, cause it gives more like dynamic to the pose itself. Yeah. Try and make it wide. That's perfect. Okay, let's come back to the middle, and then maybe something very wide. Perfect. Yeah, that's perfect. Let's we'll head up there. Now that you've gotten a chance to see the JPEGs from both the 100-2 and 100S2, which one do you think is the winner? I struggled with matching the photos, but I did the best I could. So again, honestly, I think they're extremely comparable. Now, as far as performance, I didn't see a huge difference while I was using it. Autofocus was working well, and you can even see here in this video that the autofocus of both are working pretty much exactly the same. So both cameras feel almost exactly the same to me, which says a lot because I use the 100-2 all the time. And the 100S2, when put together, feels about the same. If anything, the shutter feels a little bit slower and like louder maybe, but I don't have anything to go off of for that. And I know you all are probably curious about the whole Fujifilm autofocus thing that's going on right now and my thoughts. I honestly don't have too many thoughts because I usually shoot in single autofocus all the time and only use continuous autofocus a little bit. I will say I have personally seen the problem because I have been using continuous recently and it's been surprising. But I'm honestly not the best person to talk about it because I rarely use AFC, like pretty much ever. Again, these videos I was showing where we have the autofocus test, it was doing pretty well, but I did notice it depended on what settings I was picking. So again, leave your comments below about that. But let's go ahead and look at some of these RAW files. So I had heard from a couple of photographers that it's actually pretty hard to match the GFX 100S2 and the GFX 100-2 RAW files. I played around with a couple of them and I will say the files are a little different. However, as y'all saw coming right out of JPEG from the camera, it looks really good and the colors are pretty much exactly the same. I didn't do a great job of matching the photos. I kept hitting the ISO on the 100S2, and so the ISO was just a little bit off, but I think they do hold the same color. You can pretty much see that right now from the previews of the photos. It's very hard to tell which is which, aside from me knowing the fact that I overexposed this one a little bit compared to this one here. But when you're looking at the previews of the RAWs, like, they look great. The photos look pretty much exactly similar. On this file, we're looking at 250 ISO versus 200 ISO. Other than that, all the settings are the same. Now, an example I was dealing with is here, I edited this photo and I edited the GFX 102 first and then just copied the settings. And you can see here, they look very different. The 100S2 is on the right. Now, I could clearly come in and just edit this a bit to try and match it, but it looked like the white balance was looking a little different. Let's see how this looks actually. That's a little bit closer, but you can tell the colors are a little bit different. So again, they're not using the exact same sensor, but you are getting great results from the two cameras. Now, if you're trying to pair these cameras up and use them in conjunction with each other, that might be a little different. But aside from that, I think they look great. Yeah, you can definitely tell the colors are different from each of the sensors. And that's gonna make it hard to get like an exact match. Crop it down a bit. I think it was, is that right? It's not. Let's look at another file. Let's use this one for example. So if I was going through my normal editing, I'm gonna crop in on this just a little bit. And this is feeling pretty good to me. And then now let's do the 100S2. This one needs to be straightened. Even that, like, the range on the exposure compared to the 100S2 file almost feels like a JPEG. And I know that doesn't mean much. But the way it's processing the file, and Lightroom's not the best example either, but let's see. That's the same photo. Here we go. Yeah, there's just like, there's more of something in the 100S2 file, and I don't know what it is. We'll see if my Lightroom decides to load. Okay, got that photo. These GFX files are huge. My laptop's starting to like give out and not be able to handle it anymore. There's just like a softness about the color. There's something that's just a tad bit different. Now, I will say, if you're wondering which camera to get, and this is your first time getting into the GFX system, the 100S2 is going to be a great choice. It's a great starting place and the camera performs extremely well. One thing I will say is it was hard for me to really notice too much performance difference between the two. So it's honestly a hard call for me. If you just want to get into medium format, I would say the 100S2 is the way to go. If you want to be able to also do some video with it, the 102 is going to be the way to go. Again, I talked about the things I do and do not like with the 102, which I'll leave that right up above. But at the end of the day, they're both amazing cameras. And honestly, I did not see any huge differences in performance. If you want to see more Fujifilm camera coverage like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel and like this video. Also, let me know in the comments below what you all would like to see from me as far as gear coverage. Do you like these style of videos? Do you want something different? I really would love to hear it from you all so I can make exactly what you all would like to see. And again, per usual, check out my full wedding day videos here. They're great to watch, long, nice videos. Get yourself some popcorn, sit down, and enjoy.